Alright, so we're gonna keep pressing along with the vlog. This is, I don't even know, 23, 24, somewhere there. But today, I kind of have like a prep video. I think we're gonna use it more as a prep. Steve and I are going up to Lay Lake tomorrow in Montana and gonna overnight there. Because of that, I decided not to use that in the vlog since both of us are going, because obviously it's more of like the Northwest Adventure Series, so we'll just shoot it as such. But in preparation of doing that, I wanted to kind of talk about like probably my favorite piece of backpacking equipment that I have, hands down, and that's my dehydrator. So let's get into it. So I have my giant bowl of dried taco, and I use the freezer bags, pint freezer bags. I like the freezer bag cooking hip up. It's just simple, it's easy. You put your hot water in there, it works just fine. Cooks in the bag, put it in the cozy for a while, let it rehydrate. Works great. So for this, we're gonna use 10 minute success rice, brown rice. Gonna use about half a cup of that. Should be about one serving, so we got half a cup of rice, a little bit more for good measure, probably close to 3/4 of a cup. Spill it everywhere. That's why I have a 4-legged vacuum cleaner though, when I do stuff like this. There we go. And then we'll take a couple pieces of the chicken bark, just drop it in there, break it up some. Maybe one more nice sized piece in there. Have a good hearty meal. Looks like a good one. I always do a bad job of like judging how much you need. More is always better, especially because Lay Lake is pretty much just a 1.5 miles uphill to get there. It's not a very long hike, but the day after we're gonna go even higher uphill onto Snowshoe Peak, I believe it is. So more food, fuller bellies, happier people. Gotta love it. So another thing I'm gonna do, and something that probably doesn't get done often because dehydrating cheese is just kind of one of those things. It's a dairy product, doesn't keep well, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop some cheese in there, and I'm gonna put this back in the fridge just because we're going tomorrow. If we weren't going tomorrow, I wouldn't do this normally, but just a little bit of cheese in there to kind of help out, and then just compress it down. And we have dinner for tomorrow. One dinner right there, ready to go. I'm pretty excited to see how this rehydrates and tastes because I can already see the little dust down there of all the juices and sauce. So I'm gonna get the second one made up, and then I'm just gonna bag the rest of the stuff up in a gallon baggie and chuck it in the freezer. Bag got a hole in it. Well, I haven't done that in a long time. Started recording, or thought I was recording and wasn't, so missed the entire monologue that I just did. Anyways, backing up to what I said before I realized that the camera wasn't recording, which it's a GoPro, so I don't know how you couldn't. It's got a blinking red light. But typically for breakfast, we stick with the Old Faithful, either oatmeal or you know, like some toast or tortilla and peanut butter. But this time I decided to do like a sweet potato chorizo skillet hash of sorts. So obviously I've got my sweet potato skinned out and just getting it chopped into manageable pieces. With the dehydrator, for those of you who don't know, the smaller the pieces, the quicker and easier it dehydrates, the better it is. Obviously it sucks all the liquid out of it. So, and I'm going for more of like a hash style, so I am trying to cube these down relatively small. Hopefully cook a little better, but I doubt I'm going to dehydrate all of this. I think I'm going to save some for myself and just dehydrate what is in essence enough for portions for breakfast. It calls for rice as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the rice in there yet or not. Probably, because that sounds even better to me personally. And as I mentioned earlier, with Snowshoe Peak, we could probably use all the energy that we can get. So the rice and the extra starch and carbs from that can't hurt. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, sweet potatoes cut. These guys go in. A little bit of oil. They're going to cook down for a little while. And while they cook down, I'm going to keep getting the rest of the stuff prepared for it. So. Sticking with the kind of sweet and spicy theme we got going on, I have a yellow or a sweet onion that I'm going to use in this. It's about half of it. Recipe doesn't call for it. I like onions, so I'll put it in. And I'll probably drop some garlic in. I don't know that I'll use fresh garlic. Probably just use some of the stuff out of the can because it's already minced and it saves me a little bit of time. We'll see. Knife is woefully dull. The potatoes are simmering along behind me nicely. Nice little sound there of them going. Get the chorizo cut open and get that ready. And as soon as these potatoes soften up a little bit, we're going to drop in the chorizo, drop in the onions. What else are we going to drop in? Looks like we're going to drop some black beans in there. A little bit of salsa and some rice, and then it's going to simmer for a while. This has very happily been chugging away, and the chorizo's browned enough, in my opinion. So now we're going to add the rest of the goods. We got some black beans, cup of rice, the recipe calls for either red or green salsa, and it calls for a cup. I'm not going to use a cup because I'm using roasted habanero, which is pretty spicy stuff. It's one of my favorites. So we're just going to use, I don't know, a good dollop. It's going to be spicy already too with the chorizo, so oh well. And then it calls the last piece de resistance, if you will, 1.5 cups of chicken broth. So chicken broth in there, I'll mix it all up, bring it to a boil, and then it gets to simmer. That looks absolutely fantastic. There's the typical phone going off everybody's familiar with at this point in these videos, and bring this up quickly to a boil and then cut it down. And it says you should be able to hear it quietly simmering away in the recipe, so I'm just kind of let this cruise up here and we'll go from there. Well, that's bebopping and simmering along. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, but the top off of this, which I hope Steve gets, and I've got to run out here in a little while anyways, so maybe I'll grab while I'm out some instant eggs that we're going to drop in there, and that will make that into an excellent, I hope, breakfast. So pretty thrilled with the way it's looking right now. It smells delicious. That sizzling is my dinner tonight. It's kind of like a sausage, onions, and mushrooms, and just gonna chuck that onto a tortilla and nice easy dinner. But yeah, we'll see how this stuff turns out, and get it thrown onto the dehydrator before I run out this evening, I hope, and we'll go from there.